Welcome back to Top 5. Homelander. Created as the ultimate superhero through a government experiment known as Compound V, Homelander was raised in isolation, trained to embody the perfect hero for Vought International. Despite his charming facade, he is a sociopath, driven by a need for admiration and power. Beneath his patriotic exterior lies a ruthless monster willing to kill to maintain his image and control. Omni Man. Nolan Grayson, a Viltrumite, was sent to Earth to prepare it for conquest. Adopting the persona of Omni Man, he presented himself as a hero while secretly planning to dominate the planet. As he integrated into society, he fell in love, had a son, and grappled with his brutal heritage. Torn between his duty to the Viltrumite Empire and his newfound humanity, he became a warrior conflicted by love and loyalty. The sun hung low over a desolate battlefield, the remnants of a once thriving city now reduced to rubble. This neutral ground, chosen by destiny, was the site where two titans would clash, Homelander and Omni Man. The atmosphere crackled with tension as the two powerful beings stood facing each other, both aware that this fight would determine their fates. With a piercing gaze, Homelander smirked, his confidence radiating. "You're going to regret challenging me, Nolan. I've fought monsters, and I've always come out on top." Omni Man, his expression stoic, replied, "You're just a puppet in a pretty suit, Homelander. I'm here to cut the strings." With that, they charged at each other, a blur of speed and power. Their fists collided with a force that sent shockwaves through the ground, shattering concrete and sending debris flying. Each strike was brutal, a testament to their strength as they exchanged blows, neither willing to back down. Homelander unleashed his heat vision, a searing beam aimed at Omni Man. The Viltrumite dodged, narrowly escaping the blast as it carved a path of destruction through the landscape. He countered with a powerful punch that connected with Homelander's jaw, sending him crashing into a nearby building. The structure crumbled around him, dust filling the air. Emerging from the debris, Homelander wiped blood from his mouth, a furious glint in his eyes. "You think you can take me down? I'm invincible." Omni Man charged again, tackling Homelander and sending them both soaring into the sky. They wrestled mid-air, each trying to gain the upper hand. Homelander managed to push Omni Man away, leveling him with a devastating kick that sent him spiraling downwards. As Omni Man crashed into the ground, he quickly regained his footing, his eyes blazing with rage. "You're strong, but strength alone won't save you." The two titans resumed their brutal exchange, each strike more vicious than the last. Blood flew as fists connected with flesh, and the air was filled with the sounds of grunts and the crack of bone. They fought like animals, driven by primal instinct, each desperately wanting to emerge victorious. In a moment of desperation, Homelander unleashed a flurry of punches, landing several brutal hits that left Omni Man staggering. But the Viltrumite, refusing to give in, retaliated with a bone-crushing blow that sent Homelander to his knees. The pain ignited a fury within him, and he sprang back up, eyes blazing with determination. "Enough!" Homelander screamed, unleashing his full power. He soared into the sky, then descended like a meteor, aiming a devastating punch directly at Omni Man. The impact was cataclysmic, sending shockwaves rippling through the battlefield. But Omni Man was ready. He braced himself, catching Homelander's fist and twisting it, using the momentum to throw him aside. The two warriors crashed into the ground, creating a massive crater that shook the very earth. Dust and debris swirled, obscuring them from view. As the dust settled, both fighters struggled to rise, bloodied and battered. Homelander's costume was torn, revealing bruises and cuts. Omni Man's face was a mask of determination, his breathing heavy but resolute. In a final surge of energy, they charged at each other once more, fists flying in a frenzy of violence. The world around them became a blur of motion, a chaotic dance of power and will. With a final, brutal exchange, they landed simultaneous punches that sent shockwaves through the ground, both collapsing to the ground in pain. They lay side by side, gasping for breath, the fight having drained them to their limits. But as Homelander struggled to rise, he caught sight of Omni Man moving beside him, preparing to deliver the final blow. In a desperate act, Homelander summoned the last of his strength, unleashing his heat vision in a brutal blast aimed directly at Omni Man. The beam struck true, engulfing Omni Man in flames. He screamed in agony, the heat searing his flesh as he staggered back, trying to put out the flames. But in that moment of distraction, Homelander lunged, tackling him to the ground. With a primal roar, Homelander sank his teeth into Omni-Man's shoulder, blood spilling as he tore into his foe. Omni-Man howled in pain, but in a last-ditch effort, he slammed Homelander into the ground, smashing his fist into his face with a sickening crunch. The two titans fought with every ounce of strength they had left, but in the end, it was Homelander's brutal ferocity that prevailed. He rose above the fallen Omni-Man, battered but alive. Blood dripped from his chin, mixing with the dirt of the battlefield. As the sun set over the ruined city, Homelander stood victorious, panting and bloodied. He gazed down at the defeated Viltrumite, a mix of triumph and madness swirling in his eyes. "You should have known better than to challenge me," he whispered, a chilling smile spreading across his face as he prepared to deliver the final blow.